The problem with a spoke shave is knowing when to stop. It's just too much fun. You want to keep going. Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. Today I want to talk about spoke shaves, and in particular the traditional wooden body spoke shave. Now there are hundreds of types of spoke shaves out there: round bodies, flat bodies, adjustable mouth, closed mouth, hammer adjustable, screw adjustable, wooden, screw wooden, the list goes on, and I don't want to go into detail in every single one of them. So today I'm just going to be talking about the wooden body spoke shaves. And in particular, a traditional wooden tenon spoke shave. And so this is one where this prong just sticks through. There's no nut on the other side. It's simply held in by friction. So how do you actually adjust them? How do you use them? And how do you sharpen them? So let's dive into that. So when working with a spoke shave, it's a very simple tool. There's just an iron and a body. There's nothing else on it. Some of the newer ones will have a nut on the back so that you can keep it from sliding in and out. But I just prefer these wedged ones. And for adjustment's sake, I'll put it on the edge of the bench and I'll roll it over so that the blade is off of the bench. And I'll just give it a light tap on here. And then on this side, just putting out a little ways. I'm keeping my hand underneath so that it doesn't fall out suddenly. I'll switch back over. And it comes out. And basically the way these work is you have two prongs that pinch the wood, and they're both kind of bent in a little bit, so when they wedge into the wood they pull out. So sometimes you'll find that these blades will actually have a slight belly to them, but when you put them in and bend them out, it flattens out the blade. So you can actually slide it back in, and then adjustment's sake is just the opposite. Push it in until you can't push it in with your fingers anymore, and then light tap. And light tap, and I'm just kind of feeling it with my thumb and seeing what the opening is, and I'm pretty good all the way across there. Now what I'm looking for, some people will actually make the bed of the iron where it hits perfectly set so it's at the right spot of what they like. I like to leave a little bit of leeway in there, but not much. Also, I'm going to be looking at the mouth opening, and as you can see here, it's nice and flat all the way across. Sometimes I like to leave it a little higher on one side than the other so that I can use a thin shaving on one side and a thick shaving on the other, but most of the time I'm going to keep it flat all the way across. There's a lot of personal preferences to how it is set up, but it's basically just tapping it back and forth. If you want a larger mouth, just give it a couple taps. If you want a tighter mouth, just close it up. And again, if yours is set up so that when it's all the way down against the bed, you have a perfect mouth open all the way, then all you do is tap it down until it's flush to the bed. And you're good to go. It's just that simple to set up. And as you play with it, you'll learn how you want the mouth, and you can adjust it the way you want it. So let's give this sucker a test and see how it works. Now, when using a spoke shave, it's all about rolling it this way. So if I roll it just a little bit, I'm not getting any shaving, but as I roll it farther, I'll get more and more. And now I'm starting to get this light shaving here. And then I can roll it more, and I can start to get these heavy shavings. And so it's all about how you angle it and roll it in. So I usually like to start it where I'm not getting anything, and then I'll lock my wrists at the thickness of a shaving I want. And I can clean out a surface really nicely. And then I can get rid of those facets by just doing this light scraping cut. And I get this nice smooth surface all the way across there. And that's one of the places where this shines, is that with just the movement of your wrist, you can adjust its cut. And so with that, you can be very versatile and very quick about how you want to do it. So whether you're doing a long, drawing, smooth cut, or if you want to do something massive and really take a deep cut, almost like a draw knife, hogging off material, or coming back and cleaning it up. This is just where spoke shaves shine. So much fun. I just have a problem keep going too far. That's why you always want to make stop marks so you know how far to go. Otherwise with a spoke shave, it's just so much fun. And you're just going to keep going until you run out of wood. So make your stop marks. So let's look at exactly how we sharpen this thing. Now for sharpening a Spokeshave, it's very simple. Just like with any iron, you have a flat side and a beveled side, and you want to do them each individually. Now they do have a slight convexity to them, so when you spring them apart they flatten out, but that's something you can easily feel when you do it. So I put a little bit of window washer here on an extra coarse, a medium fine, and an extra fine, and I'm just going to slide them on the flat. Now I'm just pinching either side between a thumb and forefinger, and then I'll put another finger here just pushing down in the middle, and I'll slide it, and as I'm going it I will feel a little bit of rocking. You can see how the water slides back and forth from one side to the other, and I'm just going to do that until I feel a burr. Need a little bit more. Sometimes I'll flip directions. There we go. Clean that off. Go on to the medium fine. This takes a little less time because you're just cleaning off the scratches you made. This is the one that sharpens. These clean off the scratches. And then on to the extra. And there, I've got a burr all the way across, and I'm making sure my scratches go nicely from one tip to the other. Then I'll come over here onto the strop and then kind of just pull it back, keeping the flat on there. Just like that, it's about all it takes. We need a little more. There we go. Clean the oxide off the back, wipe it off. Now I need to do the other side. So for that, I'm going to pop the stones out of this, which is why I put those little finger holes in it. Makes it fairly easy. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bevel side. I'm going to put a little bit of Windex, window washer, whatever it is. And on this side, I'm going to pinch it so that these two fingers slide along the side of the bevel here, slide to the side of the plate. And I'm going to rock it until I feel that bevel. And that bevel is right about here. And so I'm going to pinch it at that point so that those fingers are sliding along the side here. My thumb is holding it in place. And I just kind of set this here so you can see it. And just hold it at that bevel and let it slide. It's fairly straightforward. And I'm waiting until I feel the burr on the back all the way across, and that did it. So let's put a little bit more on these. Doesn't take much. Do the exact same thing with the medium fine. I love these diamond plates. They make things so much easier. Don't have to flatten anything. Just go. It lasts so long too. Okay, now it's basically sharpened except for I have a burr running all the way across. And I can still feel it on the back. Just a slight burr. I'll set it over here, and just like before, I'm going to pull this. That pulls this burr forward, and then I'm going to lift up the strop. Sometimes I might take those screws out and slide it along the side, just like I did with the stones. Just kind of polishing that side down a little bit, and I'm feeling that burr going back on the other side. And I'm going to come back here, and the burr is almost gone. Sometimes I might take off the burr on the extra fine, but most of the time this does just right. Like now it cleaned up, nice and shiny. And then I like to actually test it by shaving some hairs. You can tell I've been doing a lot of sharpening recently. But if I slide it along and it hits if it cuts every single hair that it touches, I know that it's sharp. If it's missing any hairs, I need to go back and do it again. But you can pull off wads of hair that were just removed. So yeah, it's not a perfect way of testing it, but if it's hitting every single hair that it touches and cutting it off, you know it's pretty darn sharp. If it's missing a few hairs, you might want to take it back to the stone. And if you can't tell, I'm having fun. So I mean, there's a lot of personal preferences to one of these and how you like them set up. So it's something you just got to play with and have fun with, and you'll figure out exactly what you want it to do. And you can make curls all day long. So I hope you like this. I did a video recently on making the body, and a lot of people like that. If you want to see that video, you can click on the link over here. Also, there aren't many places anymore to buy the blades. Every now and then they pop up on eBay, and usually they're fairly cheap, but recently they've been going very fast. You can find them in antique stores and the Midwest Tool Collectors Association meets sometimes, but they're generally hard to find. I'll leave a link in the description below to a place where you can actually buy the ones that have the screw type on back. They're very similar, except for you just put a screw on. You can even buy them with a kit that comes with the all the parts needed to assemble them. They're fairly simple. A little bit more expensive, but you get a brand new blade. They sharpen almost the exact same way, except for some of them you can actually take the post off so you can sharpen it a little bit easier. So if you like that, great. If you like the video, please hit like and think about subscribing. I want to say a huge thank you to the patrons on Patreon. You guys are incredible, and thank you for that. You are the reason this channel is still going today. If you want to find out more about that, you can click the link over here. Also, if you like this video, feel free to check out one of my others. You might find something you like there. And until next time, have a wonderful day.